In this video, I'll be talking about 4-5, dividing by one-digit divisors. There are two methods that we can use when solving division problems with one-digit divisors. And the first is the traditional algorithm. So we're going to go ahead and look at the problem. 644 divided by 7. You might have heard of the mnemonic device in the past. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw, or some variation of that to help you with division? So I'm going to kind of walk you through the algorithm and talk to you about this mnemonic device as we go. So the first step in the algorithm is to start with the number you're dividing by, so 7 in this case, and see if you can divide each place value spot of your other number by 7. So for example, I can't do 6 divided by 7. So I'm going to look next door and try, 64 divided by 7. So that's my first step, divide. 7 goes into 64 9 times. Now I'm going to multiply to see how much that is. 9 times 7 is 63. And I'm going to subtract that from 64, and I'll get 1. The C stands for check. I'm checking to make sure that this number that I have here is smaller than my divisor, 7. If I had something like 8, that would mean that I could make another group of 7, and then I made an error kind of up here in the top. So my number down here, 1, is less than 7, so I've completed the C, which is check. Next, I will bring down the next number. So I have a 4 here. I'm going to bring that down because this is in the tens place. I had a 1 in the tens place and a 4 in the ones place. So altogether I have 14. So I've done the B, bring down, and then I'm going to R, repeat this process. So first I'm going to divide. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And I'm going to multiply 2 times 7 to get 14. Then I will subtract and get 0, which of course is less than 7. Since there's nothing more to bring down, this is my remainder. When you have a remainder of 0, you don't have to write it. If it was a number like 2, I would write remainder 2. But in this case, my final answer is 92. The next strategy that you can use is called partial quotients. It has some similarities to partial products that we used with multiplication. So let's say we had the problem 469 divided by 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of guess and check and see how many times 5 goes into 469. So the nice thing about this method is that each person could do it differently and should still end up with the same correct answer. If you're someone who likes using guess and check strategies in math, then this might be a great strategy for you to use for long division. So I'm basically going to start guessing and checking, or kind of seeing how many times 5 goes into 469. So my goal is to find something that I can multiply 5 by to get kind of close to 469 or less than 469. I just don't want to go over it. So I know that 5 times 40 is 200. So I'm going to start there. Again, you could pick any number to multiply 5 by, as long as you get something less than 469. So now I'm going to subtract and see how much I have left, which is 269. So I could make 40 more groups of 5, which would again be 200. And now I'm going to subtract, and I see that I have 69 left. I know that 5 times 12 is 60, so that's going to get me kind of close here. Sorry, Murphy's barking in the background. And when I subtract, I have 9 left, so I can only make one group of 5, and I have 4 left. I cannot make another group of 5, which means that this 4 is going to be my remainder. The next thing I'm going to do is circle all the numbers that I multiplied 5 by and add them up. 40 plus 40 is 80, plus 12 plus 1 is 93. So this means that I made 93 groups of 5 and had 4 left over. So my final answer would be 93, remainder 4. I'm going to show you another example side by side of each of the two methods, the algorithm method and then the partial quotients method. so that you can kind of see them right there next to each other. So I'm going to do the problem 547 divided by 4. So my first step here is to start and see how many times 4 goes into 5. So I am dividing. 5 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Now I can subtract and check to make sure that this 1 is less than 4, meaning I can't make another group, and I can't make another group of 4. So next I'll bring down the next number in the tens place, which is a 4, and repeat the process. 14 divided by 4 is 3. That's the most times that it can go into 14. 3 times 4 is 12. I'm going to subtract and get 2, which I will check to make sure it's less than my divisor, 4, and it is. So I can bring down the next digit in the ones place and repeat the process. 4 goes into 27 6 times, which would be 24. 6 times 4, 24, and I can subtract to get 3, which I will check and make sure that it's less than 4, and it is. Since there's no other numbers here to repeat, this 3 is my remainder, so I'll get a remainder of 3. Now let's try using the partial quotients method. And it's nice to be able to know a couple different methods so that you could do it one way and then go back and check your work using another method. So I'm trying to see how many groups of 4 I can make that go into 547. So I'm going to start off, I always kind of start off with just whatever is easiest for me personally, and so I want you guys to start off with whatever numbers are easiest for you. Partial quotients should be easy enough for you, and you should be using facts that are easy for you so that you don't have to really do much work off to the side. You should be able to do these facts here mentally. That's kind of the goal. So 4 times 100 is 400. And when I subtract that, I have 147 left. I know that 4 times 25 is 100, so I'll subtract that next and get 47. 4 times 10 would give me 40. Again, I'm just trying to get numbers that are less than what I have each time, and I have 7 left now, so I can only make one more group of 4, and I'll have 3 left. I can't make another group of 4, so that's my remainder. So my remainder here is 3, and I'm going to circle all the numbers that I multiplied 4 by and add them up. 100 plus 25 plus 10 is 135, plus 1 is 136. So again, I got the same answer of 136, remainder 3. I want you guys to go ahead and try this problem. Please use whichever method that you feel the most comfortable and whichever one that you prefer, or go ahead and try both of them and see if you get the same answer. The problem that I'd like you to try is 564 divided by 5. Good luck!